Well, welcome everyone to another oral history in the by the MSU Libraries. My name is Tom Peters. I'm the Dean of Libraries at MSU, Missouri State University. Today's date is Tuesday, September 26, 2023, and our special guest today is George Hiram Lambeth, known to all his family and friends as Hi. Good morning, Hi. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good. And we are in High's home on Taney Creek Road, right near Taney Creek in northeast Taney County, Missouri, in the beautiful Ozarks. And it's a beautiful day in the Ozarks.
Yes, it is. It sure is.
It really is. Start of the fall. Fall just started and still a bit warm, but it'll start to cool off.
Yes.
And the leaves will change here pretty soon. First part. Do you want to? So what I'd like to talk about is the reason we're working with Springfield Community Gardens. They got a little grant to look at agriculture and gardening and foraging in the Ozarks. So I think before I even met you, I admired your garden as I would drive by. How long have you been gardening? Forever? Your entire life?
Well, yes, we've always worked in the garden, you know.
Uh-huh.
But you know, in my younger days, probably didn't do much in the garden. But after I was married, why we done gardening every year.
Uh-huh. So did your wife sort of introduce you to gardening?
No, not really.
Oh.
My folks did. My mother.
When you were a boy, did they, tell you to go out and weed in the garden or
Oh yeah.
have chores to do in the garden?
Yes.
Yeah. Now I forget, how many acres do you have? What's
80.
80 acres.
Yeah.
And it's what we call in the Ozarks bottomland. It's
No, 30 acres in the bottom.
30 acres in the bottom,
And
and then
the rest is
50 acres up the hill.
yeah.
Do you let somebody else? Looks like you had hay on that 30 acres this
Yes.
year.
But I have it rented. I've had it rented for years, you know.
Yeah.
When I had cattle, and then when I don't have any boys, I have 2 daughters, and I just thought that I couldn't take care of the cattle by myself,
Yeah.
so I sold them and started renting the place.
Okay. So you used to run cattle on the.
Oh yes.
How many head would you have on a typical?
Oh, not too many.
Yeah.
We milked too.
Oh,
We milked.
you had both milk cows and beef cattle?
Well, yes, 2 different times.
Yeah.
We milked for a while, and then we just had beef cattle then.
Yeah. There was a time when milk production in the Ozarks was substantial.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way we lived, Tom.
Uh-huh.
We just milked and we had chickens and sold eggs, and most of us had sows and sold pigs.
Really?
There's a person come around, and if you had some pigs, it was just a pretty good size while you sold them.
The right way?
And that's the way we lived.
Okay. So milk, eggs,
And
and pigs.
Yes.
What do you call those? Feeder pigs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Those were kind of your cash crops.
Yes.
And the rest that the garden and everything, that was just for the family to eat.
Yes.
How many kids did you have? How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 15 altogether.
15.
You know, they were. I will tell you this. My mother was married twice and my father 3 times.
Uh-huh. So it's what they would call today a blended family.
Yes, I had one sister.
Uh-huh.
Younger than I am.
Uh-huh. So, in your garden, back when you were younger, what would you grow in the garden?
We grew, oh boy, we'd grow potatoes.
Yeah.
And tomatoes, and even sweet potatoes.
Really?
Yes, and beans.
Yeah.
And peppers. And
cucumbers?
Cucumbers, yes.
Yeah.
And
sweet corn?
Yes.
You grow some sweet corn?
Used to had that whole area was garden.
Uh-huh.
And we'd plant a lot of corn. That's what we depended on.
Yeah.
To eat.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
We didn't have freezers back then.
Yeah.
But we canned. And that's what you depended on to make it through the winter.
Yeah.
You have potatoes, you know.
Yeah.
You take care of them and take care of your stuff.
Yeah. Onions? Did you grow onions?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Garlic?
No garlic.
No garlic. I have to ask, any okra?
No. we grew cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage? Yeah.
Make slaw.
Uh-huh. Make slaw. Did you make
kraut?
Make some sauerkraut, yeah.
Yeah, make kraut. That's what I meant.
I've never made sauerkraut. But you put it in one of those urns, right?
You put it in what my mother did, put it in a stone jar.
Stone jar, right. And then you put some kind of a weight on it.
Yes, I lived on it.
Yeah. And then you put a little salt, or it wasn't very much you did.
Yeah, put salt in it.
Yeah.
I think that's all you've done.
Yeah.
And let it sour.
Yeah. So you say now your garden now, I would say, is still pretty substantial.
Yes. You know, we grow what we need.
Yeah.
And more too. We give a lot away.
Yeah. Do you still can?
Yes.
Yeah.
We canned pickles this year. Beet pickles and cucumber pickles and green beans.
Yeah.
My daughter takes care of that.
She helps you?
Yes.
Yeah.
They take care of that. And my daughter Sandy, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I'd even try to garden, but she loves gardening.
Uh-huh. She comes over and helps you.
Yeah. I mean, she helps me a lot.
Yeah.
We work together. I help her and she helps me.
Yeah. Was this a pretty good year for gardening?
No, not really. It got too dry.
Yeah.
Not really a good year, because we grew everything that we needed.
Yeah. Seems like down here in the Ozarks, if we don't get rain, the soil dries out very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't take long for sure.
Yeah, yeah. How do you prepare the soil? Do you?
Usually, I once in a while I put lime on it,
Uh-huh.
and and then I just plow it, and I have a neighbor that comes and tills it. Then in the spring,
Uh-huh.
I'll plow it before long and use mulch,
Yeah.
some kind of mulch, straw or some kind of mulch. I know
Yeah.
then this year and last year, the county had ground up limbs and stuff,
Oh.
and that made really good mulch.
Uh-huh.
Usually I used hay, but we went out. Me and my daughter went and got that and put it on the tomatoes and cucumbers.
Uh-huh.
Without mulch, you just not you just can't do tomatoes and cucumbers. I don't think.
Yeah.
And you use quite a bit of mulch. And then we use Miracle Grow.
Miracle Grow.
Yes,
Yeah.
to help it.
And then I saw, I forget her name. I think she's the daughter of your neighbor here. She was talking about getting some cow pies and putting them on your garden.
Oh yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
The man that's got it rented now, don't never have the cows here enough to get any
Really?
manure.
Yeah.
I was talking I call her the egg lady. I don't know who she is.
Oh,
I
at
know
McClurg?
where she lives, and they're at McClurg.
Yeah.
And I said, now you've got chickens, and I said, you really have good garden, spring stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
I know.
And boy, that chicken manure is really good. When we used to have chickens, we used that a lot.
Uh-huh. That's better than cow manure or horse
Yeah,
manure?
it's about the best
Yeah.
you can have.
Uh-huh. So you think if she had some to give you, you'd use it on your garden, do you think?
No, I don't guess she has any extra, maybe.
Do you, in the wintertime, how much do you plan your garden? Do you, decide, how many rows of beans and...
Usually 2 rows of beans and 12 tomato plants.
12?
Yeah. And
is that what you figured out is like the optimal for your needs? Is 12? 12 plants?
More than our needs.
Yeah.
And we most of a row of cucumbers.
Uh-huh.
And we set out 2 kinds of peppers, bell peppers and banana peppers.
Uh-huh.
And plant usually 2 rows of potatoes. That makes all we...
Do you do reds, or what kind of potatoes do you plant?
Kennebec.
Kennebec?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're real thin-skinned.
Yeah.
And we usually plant 4 rows of corn.
Uh-huh.
And what else, I don't know.
I've never canned anything, but when you can corn, do you cook it and then cut it off the cob?
No. Yes, you do.
Yeah. I remember my mom doing that when we were kids.
Back when we didn't have freezers or anything, that's the way. And you had to pressure it, to get it to keep.
Uh-huh.
But now we just freeze it.
Now you just freeze it.
Yeah.
What else do you freeze now?
That's about all. Just corn.
Just corn.
Yes.
You still can beans and
Yes.
yeah.
I don't like frozen green beans.
You prefer the canned?
Yes.
Yeah. Are those like just regular pole beans or?
Yes. We just use bush beans. They're a lot easier to handle.
Yeah. So you've been gardening for decades.
Yes.
What have you learned? Did you ever try anything? You ever tried any gourds or melons or
Oh yeah.
pumpkins?
Yes, melons,
Yeah.
watermelon, and mushmelon.
Yeah. Do they work? Do they grow pretty good around here? Or?
I think so. I haven't planted any
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Watermelon. You got to eat it when it's.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, you can't can watermelon.
You got to know how when they're ripe.
Yeah.
You can thump them or go by the stem.
Stem. Yeah. What about animals getting in your garden? Deer and.
Oh yeah.
How do you?
The worst thing when you grow corn is coons.
Yeah.
They can come in and clean up a corn patch overnight.
The raccoons like corn.
Oh boy.
I remember when I was living up in Iowa, they just, you know, field corn. They'd just go in
And deer are there.
yeah.
A lot of people have problems with deer. I don't have much problem with deer.
Really.
But I always see little tracks out there. But not much problem with them.
Yeah. What about insects? Are they a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to spray.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, or get them old long green worms on them.
Yeah.
And they can just ruin a tomato crop in just a day or two.
Yeah.
You got to take care of them.
What do you spray on them?
I just usually get some kind of 7 or you know, you can get 7 and mix it and that's what I usually use.
Yeah. Where do you go for your gardening supplies?
I'll just buy them in the store.
Yeah.
You know, just go to Ava.
Yeah.
I've got a guy that he orders his, but they plant a lot of garden.
Who does?
And it's the pastor of the church down here.
Oh.
And he orders
Oh.
the seed.
Okay.
But they plant a lot of garden. And instead of buying plants, they get the seed and raise them.
Oh. Yeah. See, I've never.
Yeah.
So do you grow tomatoes from seeds?
No. Just
You buy the plant.
just buy the plants.
Yeah. Yeah. I know people do that. It's, you know, they'll start March. Start those tomato seeds, you know. So, what's your favorite kind of vegetable?
I don't know. I'd say probably tomatoes is the main.
Yeah.
I like them better than anything.
How do you like your tomatoes?
Just ripe and
Yeah.
slice them and eat them.
Yeah. Did you get any last night? I was looking at those tomatoes last night.
Yeah, I didn't.
They look good. She does do a good job with her garden, that's for sure.
She does.
Yeah.
Sure.
How have you seen gardening? Do you enjoy gardening, or do you see it more of as like, well, I need to eat, so?
No, I enjoy. You know, it's good to see things grow,
Uh-huh.
and you know, you don't want to see them die, so you get out and put some water on them. You know, if you did, you got to like it, or you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
you gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be no need in planting it.
Yeah. Do you ever forage for anything?
Do what?
Forage?
No.
Like go in and go find, I don't know, mushrooms or?
I could walk on them and not know. My neighbor, they really they really hunt mushrooms, but I can't see the thing. But they are good to eat.
Yeah.
They give me some.
Yeah.
I'll fix them and eat them.
Yeah. Morels or other types of mushrooms?
Morels.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Just saute them in some butter and
Yeah.
a little bit of salt.
And put a lot of things. Put meal on, you know, roll them in meal.
Yeah.
And that makes them good.
Yeah.
Especially zucchini.
Oh yeah. You grow with zucchini too?
Oh yeah.
Those zucchini can get out of control.
Oh yes, they sure can.
It's like
just,
if you,
just like cucumbers.
yeah, if you don't pick them on Tuesday, they'll be too big on Wednesday. You know.
Oh boy, yes. Anyway, usually it's pitiful at the stuff we just give away.
Yeah.
Peppers and cucumbers, and sometimes tomatoes.
Yeah. When you can tomatoes, you take the skin off and then just can them whole.
No, you cut them up.
Uh-huh.
My mother used to can tomatoes, and I think my wife. But most of the time, we make juice and can it.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Anymore, that's what me and my daughter does.
Yeah. Tomato, homegrown tomato juice.
Juice.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yes, it is. It's good.
Any fruit trees or grapes or anything like that?
I
Or
don't have any.
have you never done any fruit or?
No.
Huh.
It's really, that's one thing that's hard to do. When my dad, he tried an orchard up here, and it didn't work at all.
Really?
When we bought the place, well, my grandma, there had cherry trees and peach trees.
Hmm.
And then we'd get those peaches and dry them.
Uh-huh.
How good them dried peach pies were, you know.
Uh-huh. How would you dry them? Would you just slice them and?
No, you'd take the seed out and lay them on a tin roof.
Yeah. Yeah. Dry them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever? What did you do for meat? Chickens?
Yes. Chickens
Hog.
and you fatten hogs
Hogs.
and butcher them, and of course you didn't have any way of keeping anything, but you'd cure the meat
Yeah.
So it'd keep.
Yeah.
And chickens, I never eat it. Don't eat chicken.
You don't eat chicken?
No.
Never liked chicken?
No.
Really?
Very little meat that I really like.
Yeah. So you like pork?
Yes.
You like beef?
Yes, I like hamburger.
Do you ever slaughter a cow on the farm? Or?
No.
Yeah.
No. Way back, why, long time ago, why, people might butcher a beef and they'd take it around and sell it,
Mm-hmm.
parts of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, you couldn't, there's no way of keeping it.
Yeah. So you'd have to sell it.
Yeah.
Most of it.
You just have to get around and get rid of it in a few days.
Yeah. Yeah. What about like squirrel hunting? You ever go squirrel hunting?
Not very much.
Huh.
I just never, that's my problem. I don't care about fishing or hunting.
Really? You never like to fish or hunt, huh?
Well, I've gone fishing a few times and hunted a few times, but not in years anyway.
Yeah. So no deer hunting.
No.
Yeah.
One of my brother-in-laws, his son really liked to hunt, and he told him that if you kill it, you eat it. So that's my way of thinking, and I wouldn't eat it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So hamburger.
Yeah.
And you like
I like
pork products.
I like tenderized pork stuff. I like something that I can eat and not have to chew a lot.
So you just like bread it and with pork.
I don't care anything about steaks.
Yeah. You
or most of people do.
Yeah. But you don't really like steaks. You don't like steaks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You always gotta chew on them, and I just don't care for that.
Fish? Do you eat fish?
No. That's all. I'd be a lot better off if I liked to fish and hunt.
Yeah.
But very little fishing.
I'm just my sense is in the Ozarks, hunting and fishing is a big.
It's really a big thing.
A big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
My son-in-law, that passed away, boy, he liked to fish and hunt.
Yeah. And the start of the hunting season is a big event. Anything else you want to tell us about sort of your gardening and how it's gone over the years?
I just, you really have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Or, keep it hoed and plowed.
Yeah.
And sprayed. And you have to take care of a garden.
Yeah.
If it makes anything, put mulch on it.
Is it like when you get a dry spell, or you ever had hail hit your garden?
No, not bad, not much.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been years since we've had any hail to hurt anything.
Yeah. When you have a bad gardening season, does it make you sad? Does it make you angry? Does it make you hungry?
No.
You just that's
It's
just the way.
just take it the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
You know, I'd like to say this, and that don't go for the gardening, but I haven't been angry for years.
Yeah. You just don't get angry.
I got angry some years back,
Uh-huh.
but for years now I haven't been angry, and I don't. And I have patience. When things go wrong, I just look at it and let it take care of itself. And I'm just patient with it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. That's a blessing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, hi, thanks very much for...
I don't think I've helped you much, but maybe a little.
Now, you say that like your daughter likes to garden, and some people like to garden alone,
Oh, yes.
but others like to have someone else, at least one other person.
Yeah.
Sounds like you prefer to have...
A lot of people, you know, like they don't garden anymore. And some of them just don't think they can garden. And you take your cucumbers or peppers or tomatoes down to church, and people just gather them in like it is at McClurg.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's great, Tom, how we can give it to other people.
Yeah.
And it's got a way of showing them that you care for them.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Do you ever, sometimes when I garden, I'll have, I call them experimental crops. I'll try growing something I've never grown before, just to see how it goes, you know.
well, that's good.
I tried okra a couple of years ago. Didn't get much okra, but
Well,
I had somebody come out and we went hiking in the woods there and found a sassafras tree. But I tried to make some filet powder for gumbo. It was tasteless. I don't know.
you have to get the roots.
I didn't do it the right way, I guess. I don't know.
You got to get the roots and boil them.
Yeah.
Sassafras tea.
Yeah. I've never had sassafras tea, but
We used to have it all the time.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Would you actually go out and gather, harvest the
You
root?
get the roots.
Yeah.
But I don't see many sassafras anymore.
Yeah.
Very few.
What about ginseng? Do you ever find any ginseng?
I wouldn't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't either. It grows in the Ozarks.
Yes.
And it's very valuable.
A lot of people hunt it. They used to hunt it.
Yeah.
And you could sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get good money for ginseng. Have you seen any? So there used to be more dairy cattle in the Ozarks than there are today. Strawberry? You never grew strawberries?
Yes, we had when I was young, before I got married, we had my dad put out a strawberry patch. We grew strawberries, And my daughter up at Clever, she grows strawberries all the time. But you know, you really need the right kind of soil to grow strawberries to me, you know.
Yeah.
Usually a gravelly soil is better.
Almost like on a
strawberries.
slope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now your farm is pretty much south facing.
It's what?
South facing. It
Yeah.
faces the south.
Yeah.
Does that affect what you can grow?
I don't know.
But you think strawberries didn't do too good on your land?
Well, they did for a while anyway.
Yeah.
But that's one thing, really, you've really got to take care of.
Yeah.
You need to put straw on them and take care of them through the winter.
Yeah.
And my daughter at Clever, she knows how to do that. She takes care of them, grows strawberries enough for all of us.
Yeah. Does she make like strawberry jam and?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Raspberries? You ever try raspberries?
No.
Jeff Berry has grown raspberries. He says that the deer like them.
Well,
It's hard to keep the deer out of the raspberries. So.
No, used to, we'd pick blackberries. You know, they grow wild.
Yeah.
We picked up blackberries and take care of them and have them for pies in the winter. Or blackberry jam.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So you would like canned blackberries?
What? Yes.
Yeah. Then use them for pies and
Yes.
yeah. What about gooseberries?
I like gooseberry pie.
Do you ever gather gooseberries?
Oh, yes. I pick them still yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have some on your land?
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of vines
Do you?
up on the hill.
Yeah. When do you pick them? When they're still green?
Oh, yeah. When they get, you can tell when they get pretty good sized.
Yeah.
And even if they start to turn a little bit, you can still pick them and they're good
Yeah.
for pie.
Yeah. Boy, I haven't had gooseberry pie in a long time. Rhubarb? Do you ever grow rhubarb?
A long time ago we used to.
Yeah. Asparagus?
Yes.
No more though?
No more.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I think asparagus is kind of tough to tend.
I think it needs to be moisture, quite a bit of moisture to
Yeah.
grow asparagus.
Yeah. And, well, I've never been successful with it, but I think you have to mulch it a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been years.
Yeah.
Years.
But you still gather gooseberries.
Oh, yeah.
What's like, is May the month for gooseberry gathering? Or?
Well, I think so, yeah.
I'd love to go up with you sometime just to see your gooseberry patch.
Well,
Is it up the hill?
sometime when the gooseberries are good, I'll tell you and you come by and I'll show them to you.
All right. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
You got to put some sugar on gooseberries, though.
Yeah. Yeah. The main part of the gooseberries, they're not so bad to pick, but when you go through them and stem each and every one of them, It takes a while.
Yeah. How do you do that? Would you sit outside and stem gooseberries?
Just by you.
But would you sit out in the shade or something and
Well, usually just sit in the house.
yeah, stem gooseberries?
Yeah.
Did you ever can gooseberries?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Almost anymore we freeze them.
Yeah.
Used to we can gooseberry. You just like years ago, if you didn't can it, you didn't have it.
Yeah.
You just had to do it.
When did refrigeration come into your life?
We got electricity in 51.
1951.
And then, we bought a refrigerator then.
Mm-hmm. That changed did that change your life, having refrigeration?
Oh yeah, yeah. It made a lot of difference.
Yeah. Do you have a chest freezer now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We had a larger one, but I got a smaller one now.
Yeah.
Don't have much to freeze, so
Yeah.
just got a smaller one.
And your garden's smaller now than when
Yeah.
years ago?
Just about half the size.
Half.
But it's still plenty big enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be saying, get around, get finished cleaned off. I'll plow it this fall.
Uh-huh.
Always plow it in the fall.
Yeah.
And then it's ready to till in the spring.
Do you plow it yourself?
Yeah, I've got a plow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've got a plow and a field tiller
Uh-huh.
to do things.
But you said you had somebody come in the spring and till it for you?
Yeah, this my neighbor.
Oh.
But he's Randy,
Yeah.
and he's going to be gone. But I can till it with the field tiller.
Yeah.
My neighbor over here, he's got a disc, and he told me I can use it anytime.
Uh-huh.
I can make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No bigger than it is.
And you've got a good. Do you have some springs on your property?
I've got this one spring right up here,
Yeah.
and it runs and waters the cows. I've got a tank out there.
Yeah.
That's the only water I have.
Yeah.
For the cows, only when it got plenty of water, got a hole over there where the water comes down when it rains.
Uh-huh. How many cattle do you have now?
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
No.
Oh, okay.
Renter's got some up here on the hill now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had any cattle for years.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Hi.
Well, I'm glad to help you if I can, Tom.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you and what you mean to me. You know, you're the one that came by and wanted to know who the old man was that lived here.
Well, I'll tell you, Hi.
And that's really odd how if I'm out why people come by and stop and talk to me and want to meet me. And it's hard for me to understand why they really want to. I've heard about you and I just wanted to meet you.
You were well respected in the neighborhood. Leon Combs thinks the world of you.
Yeah.
And,
really, when I was really, when my dad died, I was only 22, and he just go from here to there, and I had my mother and my younger sister, and of course all the others, you know, that was just your stepmother, and I had to take care of them. I was in Washington working when he got real sick, and I come back, and boy, I mean, times was hard for me. He didn't have any money left to leave to my mother and my sister, and it's left up to me. Anyway, when I started going with my wife, it was really odd. I was kind of bad to get out on the weekends and drink, and I told him last night, I said, when I was 23, why, life really changed for me. When I started going with my wife, she just told me straight out that if you're going to drink and fool around like that, don't come back. And I knew to take her at her word, so I just quit. And that was a new beginning for me.
when you were 23.
Yeah.
So your dad had died when you were 22.
Yeah.
And you had all this responsibility on you.
Yeah, and I didn't, there was no work here much.
Yeah.
Back then. and my half brother, my mother's son, he had a milk route, and you know, you go around and pick up milk cans and take them to the Bradleyville, to the cheese factory. And the old truck tore up on him, and he just parked it over there, just going to the rear end. Something happened to it. So he just gonna leave it. And you know, I went over there and I took the rear end out of it and took it to Bradleyville. Lewis Albright, he was a good old man, and he fixed the rear end for me. I brought it back and put it in and started the milk route.
Oh, really?
I started it.
So you'd go gather the milk?
Yeah, go around.
Yeah.
Pick up milk here and there.
Yeah.
Take it halfway back.
Yeah. Take
Feed dogs. But anyway, what I was going to tell you, why there was a theater, outside theater up at Good Hope, and me and my wife would go up there. I'd go get her and we'd take her up there.
Yeah.
In the old milk truck. That's the way I had to go.
You'd go on a date in the milk truck, huh?
Yeah, and anyway, I'd stop at Brown Branch, and some of the boys would get on the back on the can and ride up to the show. Anyway, And Leon was one of them.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to kid him about riding in the back of your truck.
Boy.
So when you say it was an outdoor show, was it just like a sheet pulled between two trees, or?
No, it had big old thing.
Screen?
Screen, yeah.
Yeah. Seats? Were there seats?
No, you had to sit in your car or in your truck.
So it was like a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you turn the truck? Would you back the truck towards the screen so that the people in back could see?
No, they could look out over. They're sitting on the can, so they could look out over the cab.
You remember how much it cost to go to a movie up in Good Hope?
I think like $1.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you and your wife dated, huh? Was going to the
Yeah.
movies in Good Hope, and
Yeah.
But then she told you. She said, "You gotta fly right, or
Yeah.
we're not going to be together."
That's right. And I thought enough of her that I could do that.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful.
Yeah. So your dad died when you were 22. You're now 97.
Huh.
You're now 97, so he's been gone for 75 years.
Yeah.
How old were you when your mom died?
Oh, I can't remember.
Hmm.
Then she was 81.
Hmm.
And so I can't remember.
Hmm.
But we was married and everything when she passed away.
So other than the time you were out in Washington State, and you worked in a bakery, right?
Yeah.
Basically to make some money.
Yeah, see, when my dad deeded the place to me and my sister when he bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And really odd, I don't even have a deed.
Really?
But anyway, I told my sister, she didn't want the place, I don't guess, but I told her, let's just set a price, and if you want it, you could have it at the price, you know. But I said, there's one thing about it, the one that has it needs to take care of mother,
Mm-hmm.
mom,
Mm-hmm.
and she just, and it was $1,500, and she just took the money. So of course I had to borrow it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my neighbor, my next neighbor up here, loaned me the money, and boy, he knew he was going to get it, you know. So I let it go a year and paid the interest, and just went and borrowed the money from somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
from a lady down here, and
Yeah.
she was really a nice lady, and it really got dry then in 51.
Yeah. The 50s were dry, right?
Yeah.
57.
Anyway, we headed out for Washington and stayed out there 2 years, and I got the $1,500 and had a little bit left, enough to buy some cows so we can milk and make a living.
Uh-huh. So then you came back and paid off the debt, and
Yeah.
you've been living here ever since.
Yeah, I called it home.
Yeah. When was this house built?
And I'm sure, I know it was done in 40.
1940?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad built it here, and I wish it was up on the hill, but it's not. I said,
You'd rather have it be
I
higher
told
up.
people the next house I build, I want it on level ground. But anyway, the reason he built it, he run the spring in the house.
Yeah.
It's in water in the basement.
Uh-huh.
So that's the reason he built it here.
Uh-huh.
So that's the big story.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just right off the road here, but you don't get much traffic on
Yeah, we use
Taney Creek Road.
don't get much traffic. Oh man. Anyway,
Yeah.
I really do enjoy going out to McClurg on Monday night.
Do you? It's
You know, that's really hard to understand there. But when you, I've told this before, but when you go out there, you see no problems. And if somebody needs help, there'll be 2 or 3 people
mm-hmm.
get there to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the older man that comes and plays the guitar.
Yeah.
How they'll
Gordon.
move around and make. And,
Yeah.
and Mona, they help her to get in. And I don't know that the people will come to me and ask me if they can help me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just something that you know, it's just a place that's comfortable.
Exactly.
Go there and sit and visit.
Yeah.
Listen to the music. Yeah. It's just something for somebody like me.
Yeah. Well, everybody who comes, I think they enjoy it, and
Yeah, they do.
You know, it's always a little bit the same, but it's always a little bit different every week. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes the music's a little bit different.
But anyway, it's just different.
Yeah. There was quite a bit of dancing last night too.
Oh yeah. That little boy, he really likes to dance.
Yeah, Simon, he's quite the dancer. His sister tries, but I think he's just a natural dancer.
Oh yeah, I think he's won a lot of
Yes, yeah,
things around.
yeah. He won a couple times at the West Plains Festival. So yeah, McClurg is a special place, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's even different to what it used to be.
Mm.
I know Randy Evans. Of course, I never went when Esther and Eileen had it.
Mm.
But Randy told me that people smoked a lot, you know.
Mm.
But that don't happen anymore.
No.
He said the smoke could about choke you.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Nobody even chews, I don't think.
If they do, they don't do it there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like to go there, and it's just a good place to go.
It is a good place to go.
Spend some time with some people.
Yeah, every Monday night.
Yeah. A couple hours.
Yeah.
A couple or 3 hours you can spend.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Just listen to the music and talk and eat. Food's pretty good.
Tell stories.
Yeah. Food's pretty good there too.
Yeah, anyway, it's, I get tickled that people come to me and they like to talk to me. I don't know why.
I miss you. You haven't sung for a couple of weeks.
No,
I miss your singing.
I've been, my throat's been kind of bad.
Been sore.
And I have to lead, I'm the only one to lead the singing at church.
I noticed that Sunday I came, that you were like the leader of the music.
Yeah, them little girls that sing, you know, they're almost got them adopted.
Mm.
They keep a thinking, and you know they've been trying for 2 years
Mm.
to get them.
Adopt them.
Yeah, it's an awful thing. They couldn't have any kids.
Yeah.
And the woman, she's a good singer.
Mm-hmm.
She come from a family of singers, the Laffertys.
Did you come from a family of singers? Did your family sing?
No, not really.
Well, I like to hear you sing. When Leanne comes, she'll get you to sing.
Yeah.
Well, hi, thanks again.
Well, Tom, you're just as welcome as you can be. And I want you to know that.
Thank you.